Hey, it's Hal. Can you tell that this hand is super swollen? I got bit. But anyway, so topic this week is coming out. I am 23. I came out to most of my family. Yeah, I came out to my family first when I was 18. The September before I turned 19, which was in March. So September, October, November, December, January, February, March, 6 months before I turned 19, I came out openly to my family. My immediate family being my mom, my dad, my brother, and my sister was only like 9, so I didn't tell her. But anyway, so yeah, I came out to them all first. I originally, way back in high school when I was 14, is the first time that I mentioned anything remotely like this to anyone else, sort of. I came out to a friend, and I told them that I thought that I was transgender, and that I was going to wait until I turned 18 to do anything about it. And then sort of just kind of tried to go on with my life, and that's basically exactly what happened. Before that had been sort of, I mean, there was some stuff that happened before that, like, the only thing that comes to mind, like, very specifically, though, is, I remember one time I was 12 years old, and I mentioned something to my mom, like, to the effect of basically that I wished I had a dick, and she got so, like, affronted or upset. I don't even remember. She was just very clear that that was not something. I thought it was just a completely normal thing for girls to think, right? But apparently not. Although maybe there are girls that think that. Anyway, she didn't think that that was normal, and it sort of, everything was sort of weird in my growing up. But anyway, so fast forward, 18 September of 2012, I was living with my dad and my brother in Texas, and I came out, I think, to my brother first, sort of hypothetically, and was basically like, well, how would you feel if I was, transgender? And he was a total shitbag about it. Basically said he'd disown me and never talk to me, and it was disgusting, and blah, 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 blah. So I called my mom crying, and told her, because I guess that seemed like a good idea. And so originally she was super supportive, and like, oh, your brother's an asshole, blah, 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 blah. So I thought that was fine. I was a little scared to come out to my dad. I didn't think he'd take it as well, because he's fairly religious. But eventually I told him to, and then everyone knew. My mom's not super great at keeping her mouth shut, so I didn't have to tell the rest of my family. Probably shortly after I told her, everybody else knew. The rest of my family I basically don't talk to. They don't respect my pronouns, they don't care, they don't understand. I don't care. It's not, we were like, I feel like I had, like, decent, close relationships with my grandparents, and with my grandparents, anyway, and cousins and whatnot, like, growing up, but, there's a lot of, like, homophobic, transphobic, racist bullshit, that I just sort of don't have time for, and, I don't know, I guess I don't really expect them to grow out of it, so, I moved halfway across the country, and, speak to them occasionally during the holidays. Friend-wise, I told all my friends, I came out on Facebook not long after I came out to my immediate family, and there was some drama on Facebook because I had a few friends even who, basically said, oh, well, you'll always be Haley, my fucking whatever. By birth name, my birth name is Haley. I go by Hal. So, yeah, they continued to call me Haley, and it's spelt Haley, which is technically the unisex way, so I sort of, for the sake of, like, easing the transition, I was like, you know, I don't give a fuck. If you want to call me Haley, that's my name, that's what I've gone by my entire life. If you really can't make the switch to Hal, fine, you know, I'm not gonna throw a fit about it. But they had a lot of issues still with pronouns and what. Not everyone. There was just, it was, the only reason I make it sound that way is because the two people that had the hardest time were, like, my two best friends. But I had a lot of other friends that were really supportive and did really well and switched and were just, like, there for me the entire time. However, I'm very, like, particular with people, and I have, like, a small group, usually. A very small group. And it had been sort of those two people for, like, years. And, could have gone better. Definitely could have gone worse. I don't really, dwell on it too much anymore. I guess the long-term effects, are obviously that I don't really speak to a lot of my extended family anymore. I literally haven't talked to my aunt or uncle or any of my cousins, like, since I came out, outside of, you know, passing them by on holidays, like, being in the same room. They have no interest in talking to me. I really think that they're very uncomfortable with it. They don't want anything to do with me, which is fine, because they're kind of pretentious assholes, and I don't really want anything to do with them either. I feel like I did alright coming out. Like, I didn't have a lot of patience for anyone, though, that wasn't at least polite about it. Like, there were a lot of people who didn't try remotely to deal with it, and there's a lot of people that I think give people leeway in that, but I think if you can't accept the idea that somebody might, you know, be going through something that's not your experience, and, you know, give them at least the benefit of the doubt or whatever, you have to, like, delegitimize their experiences for the sake of making yourself feel better, then there's no reason for you to be around. My advice in coming out is be honest, be